Hello, hello. Happy Thursday, April 2nd, 2026. Day after April Fools. Um, I am I am sure that as usual, despite having done Thursdays at an hour earlier than normal, that I will confuse people yet again today, and it looks like it's probably the case. But for those that are here, welcome. It is a gloomy, rainy, cold day in Appleton and surrounding areas. Apparently, the power has gone out at my house. I can't imagine why, but it has. Electric company has contacted us to let us know that they hope to have the power back on in the next hour and a half, but it's been out for like hours now. Hey Russell, you'll hold the door open while we all gather in. Yeah. I bet 10 cents somebody says that we're doing it early today. So anyway, yeah, so it wasn't nearly as bad as it was led on to be. There was all this doom and gloom about icy roads and freezing rain and all that stuff. And yeah, it was like 33 degrees and raining when I left for the office today. So we seem to miss that ice portion, which is good. But this will it's about maybe just shy of 40 degrees and raining. So it will at least get rid of some of the snow. That's all I care about at this point. Rinse off the roads. I will be interrupted here in roughly 5 minutes by my daughter, who is coming in to do some photography. So I'll have to give her real brief instructions. So my apologies in advance for that. Although I did leave her a very crude note with images of how I wanted pictures done. So we'll see if she'll probably get a kick out of that. Yeah, it's a good thing I didn't get the vet today. Well, I was planning on doing it this evening. I decided against it. Unfortunately, I think it's still going to rain tomorrow. It's going to be a little bit warmer. But I have to get it out of storage. And tomorrow's a great day because I can do it during the day when there's likely to be somebody manning the desk, so I can cancel my storage unit. Other words, I do it on a weekend, and I can't be guaranteed there's going to be somebody there, and I just want to be able to say, hey, here's. I don't have a key. I've got my own. I provide my own lock, but so I'll probably get it rained on tomorrow, but at least it won't be any chance of icy anything. You're getting rain tonight and tomorrow in Maine, they're saying. Well, at least it's melting snow. It's melting snow a little bit, and it's cleaning up the roads. So that I am happy for. So I'm just kind of ad-libbing here because I'm watching my daughter. I have her on my contact so I can see her drive, and she is about 2 blocks away. So before I get even involved in anything, we're just going to ad-lib here for a little bit. You don't have any snow on the ground there. We don't have too much. Considering we had 15 to 20 some inches just a little over 2 weeks ago. You wouldn't even know it. I'm hoping this will maybe thaw out the ground a little bit, give us a little green grass. That would be nice. One can only hope. But anyway, while we're waiting, let's see what's new. I'll give you a sneak peek of what's cooking tomorrow. Brand new in the house today, Yovo nib units blank nib units. So not laser engraved with anybody's name, brand, nothing. If you've got a maker pen or some other Yovo stick, as we like to call it, whether that be Franklin Christoph, Edison, Esterbrook, whatever, we now have blank Yovo nibs in steel, the silver, and in gold, and they're the nice plain engraving. There's no floral engraving on it. They look real nice. Extra fine, medium, broad, 1.1. Those are coming to the site tomorrow. So that's actually what my daughter is. And there she is. I'll be right back. Hello. All right. Russell, I think it's just you and me. I think it's just the two of us today. Let's see. We better get going because I am going to cut out just a few minutes early today because I am finishing up my taxes, which is incredibly exciting. It never used to be exciting. It is incredibly exciting this time around because they are done. Here's what's on tap today. Snorkel desk pen. Let's get that done so we can get the we can get another desk pen. 51 and this cool kind of burgundy touchdown. We're going to resack this Conway. And then we got these two that were actually pretty good to go. So we're going to test them, and I think we got to seal the section on this one. So that's what's on tap. But first, I want to clean a pen real quick. Here is the one I had yesterday. And here is the original, the OG, as they might say. My first company and my latest company. So a really good pair. But then when I went to go look at this last night, I realized I had not cleaned it when I when I last put it away. Now I usually only use like Okuyama or other Sailor Reds, so it shouldn't be too bad. So when I'm not on live stream, do you have any music playing in the shop? Sometimes. It just depends on the day. It depends on what I'm doing. Depends on what I'm trying to get done. I thought about it today because Thursday is my early day, and I've been a machine all day. We got in actually a little bit earlier than normal because we wanted to make sure we had extra time just in case the roads were bad. I will listen to just about anything. It's typically jazz or funk, although sometimes it is classical music, Bach, Mozart, Beethoven. It just depends on what I'm in the mood for. But I like jazz. I like modern jazz a lot. So I like to listen to and a lot of trumpet players and trombone players. Nils Lundgren Funk Unit is one of my favorites. Um, Anything with Wayne Bergeron in it. He's a phenomenal trumpet player. There's a new kid that that I just discovered that I want to see if he's. Boy, this thing is really. Look at this. There's like sheen in there. I can make my own ink out of this. A new kid I found on Facebook, and apparently he is on Spotify. What's his name? Olin something? Trumpet player? Really, really very good. Very good player. Good soloist. What's the terrain like in your area? Augusta, Maine is really hilly. Augusta is split in half by the Kennebec River. We are really, really very flat in this area, which was always one of my complaints about riding my bike, because I can do a 20-mile ride and I'll have like maybe 50 feet of elevation gain on the whole ride. Boy, this is really kind of disgusting here. I might have to. I might have to fill this and let this sit. So yeah, that's why I like. That's why one of the reasons I've kind of switched to indoor training is because I can have more. I can have more hill training in 30 minutes on Zwift than I can in 3 hours. Pretty much anywhere around here. Hey, Jason. Speaking of newer jazz, Flea, the bassist of Red Hot Chili Peppers, released a jazz album. Actually, pretty pleasant. Okay, I'll check it out. I thought I heard something. Was it like super recent? Like I thought I saw him in the news just the other day. Yeah, I might have to discard this toxic waste. It's probably a couple of years old. A little bit of a shake. Well, we'll let that sit and then we'll. Oh, this week. Okay, so that's probably what I did see. That's probably what I did see. Popped up in my feed somewhere. I listen to older jazz too, you know. Big fan of Chet Baker. I guess for semi-modern, you know, Chuck Mangione. May he rest in peace. I do like some Chuck. I pretty much don't turn my nose up at any most any jazz. Some of the hey Mike raiding, doing the raid today. Hey, the banana duck. What's going on? Match makes a thing. I was gonna tune into you today, and quack quack. I was just so busy doing things around the shop here. Just like these like super low. Mike had a bounce. All right, very good. Super low on the totem pole things, and I was really in a mood and getting stuff done. And then I totally forgot to come back. And I think it was also during my lunch too. What's Mike up to today? What was he doing? Love to get this guy done. The usual ink arts pens. All right. I hope you have a good day, Mike. Whatever you got planned. I will say hi to Lisa. Absolutely. You betcha. You ever have problems getting these in? Just heat them up. You can heat them within an inch of their life. Don't forget the scallop was smoking a cigarette. I have no idea what that means. There we go. All right. Well, for once, I've got a sack protector tube and a section that match. These both have the large slot on it, which I believe was an earlier feature. Oh, he drew a okay. He drew a scallop sitting. The one day I decide not to tune in. Look what I missed. Hey, David. Early straight. Who bet me 10 cents? I figured you were just upset because I sent you a picture of semester books. You saw it while you're driving? Okay. Are the asterisks buy one, get one free? Well, you know, if I mark them up 200%, that works. 100%, that works out all right. I figured it was one of the nicest collections of Esterbrook's that I've had in a while, and there's some heavy hitters in that. There we go. In that picture. I just got them up on the website. Most of them up on the website today. You've been looking up to see about the April Sailor anchor drop, and what comes across is that the reason for the 1911 standard in the drop is to clear away stock because the big nib changeover. Not necessarily. That's not really the. It's not necessarily the reason. In general, these are typically a couple older models that are going away. I mean, 1911 standards are gonna keep the same 14 karat nibs. So, in that case, it really, it's just that it's an older model, and they're trying to get rid of it. So, I do have some coming in. Blue and green are coming in for me. Engraving on the nibs will be different. I don't know about that. That I've not heard. It's a serious collection, not the ordinary group of 21 black SJ. Yeah, I mean the most common pen in there with the lowliest pen in there was the last one in the tray is a peach, peach pastel, but 2 clipless, an LJ pastel, and a nurse set. Is pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. It just looks good. It looked good, and I had to share it. Let's see here. All right. I'm afraid there's not as many. I don't feel like there's as many people who are collecting that sort of thing these days. Everybody is really focusing on using. And I just don't know. Like in my day, when I would have collected those, you buy them, you put them in the tray, you look at them every once in a while. That LJ and turquoise, seriously tempting. The the interesting thing about that is almost every single one of those that I found, and it's probably been. I had one earlier. Later last year, I had one on the site. Probably something in the neighborhood of 5 of those I've maybe had ever. They've all had stickers on them. Oh, well done, Munchkin. Yep. All right. Bye. Bye. Thank you. Yep. All right. Let's see. Let's test these. Once I get this this cleared up, then I gotta start looking for more desk spaces because I do have another snorkel desk pen. Gabriel, hello. How you doing? Welcome. A moment of calm. Oh, good. Very good. That's what we want. Nice nib. It'll do somebody well. And this has these interesting letters marked on the barrel. Or were those numbers? I'm trying to think. Yeah, numbers. These might be initials. Very subtle. That'll do. Just make sure it fills. I didn't see the bubbles coming out like I like to see it. Just move that in just a smidge. And then I'm going to seal it up. Just a little bit too much. And I gotta come out a little. Cleaned off my desk. I still can't find anything. What the heck? Guess this will work. Bit of toilet paper on the ground. Let's try this guy. Really underrated pens, some of these non-Skyline wall Eversharps. How was the candy yesterday? I actually saved the little eggs, chocolate eggs for today. So my little mid-morning snack, I had them. They were pretty good. Oh. Well, excess. Yeah, it was an ink burp. Excess in the feed. I don't think I wiped it off good enough. No, I don't think I got all the ink out of the feed. I need to get rid of that water. All right, wall Eversharp number 2. I have a broad stub. Really great nib. Black. That'll make somebody happy. Chew through some ink right quick too. Very nice. I'm gonna get rid of this water here. Okay. Steel nib touchdown with the SFM nib. I'm sorry, SF1. I would call it springy. I wouldn't necessarily call it flexible. Um, but that's nice variation right there. Yeah, I like it. Why not? Doesn't have to be expensive. It'd be fun. Feels like a champ. Better than most touchdowns. Last but not least, this looks like this is an extra fine. You took that Lamy 99 to work. It's definitely going to eat up some ink. That's kind of how I feel about the Skyline. Well, you take that to work, and that would dry on the upstroke. Lisa never finishes her soda at lunch, so I hate to see things go to waste. That's better. You need a secretary to fill that skyline for you twice a day at least? I could have my daughter come in and do it. But she'd love that. I got the old eye roll when I said, "Hey, listen, can you take these pictures, have them edited and ready by tomorrow?" Oh man. We've been waiting forever for these nibs to come in. Since before Baltimore. And then I'm watching the UPS tracking today. And UPS comes and he gives me a package I wasn't expecting, which is fine. Some back ordered Lamy stuff from months ago that I forgot I ordered. And I'm like, well, where's this other box? Well, he dropped it off at my wife's, at Lisa's desk, because it was in a small box, and they always get pretty much the same size boxes. And he just assumed it was glasses or something for the optometrist. Well, you can see the green sheen on that. All right, spin these out, seal up the ones that need to be sealed. Actually, almost all of them need to be sealed in some way, shape, or form, don't they? So the pen I mentioned yesterday that I accidentally bid $5,081 for the other day, or $5,008, or whatever the amount was. I'm really glad I retracted that bid. I did end up selling for $541, I think, is what it sold for. You know, and who knows what that high bidder's highest proxy was. That would have been something, huh? Like once in my life, I want to do that. Try that out sometime. I'm not going to tell anybody in advance. If you had retracted the bid, you wouldn't have bid me up any more than 2,000. You know, that's such a nice gesture. You know, only friends would do that, right? Keep it within reasonable limits. You know, I looked over at this. This is now pink, and I drink pink lemonade at home, and I almost took a sip of that. I need to put some other color in there or something. All right. It was a nice Conklin sterling silver filigree crescent. Slip cap, plain crescent, heavily oxidized. You saw that one? Yeah. It was at like $69 yesterday afternoon. I thought, well, you know, maybe there's a chance. Everybody's sleeping on it. Only once did you put a stupid high buy it at any price bid and no one else bid against me. I got the pen for the opening price. Which is great, but it was kind of anticlimactic, right? I've done some ridiculous prices before, but never like $5,000 or whatever. That was a nutty price. And actually, all things considered, at $540 or whatever it was, um, I thought was kind of a fair price for it. You bid 2,000 and it sold for 250. You never bid so. You will never bid so much again. It was so stupid. Yeah. Yeah, 540 wasn't crazy. I actually was expecting it to be kind of in the realm of about $200 more, somewhere in that $700 range probably would have been appropriate. Hey, Gary. I didn't figure out there was any chance in me actually getting it. You know, everybody's sleeping, but you know, once in a while, everybody is sleeping. You know, and then the justification part of your brain kicks in, right? You're making deals with yourself. And so I'm thinking, well, you know, I'm not going to have my car in a storage unit anymore. And that, you know, come Sunday, that would be $215. That means I've got $215 to spend. And I just did some repairs. So, you know, there's another couple hundred. I decided it was a better deal to take Lisa out to dinner at our favorite Mexican restaurant. And so that's what I did. For you, it was bid high, and if you wanted the crazy price, you'd skip the next pen show. Wow. Now, you got to tell us what it is. I think you might have told me this story before, but I can't remember. I'm either going to have to start getting longer toothpicks. Do they make such a thing? Or I'm going to have to melt all this and put it into a smaller jar, because it's getting to be a pain in the you know what to try to get this out of this jar. Oh, 1920s, yeah. Japanese pen with a trident nib, yeah. Brian, have I ever told you your Appleton claim to fame? No, I don't know. Maybe. I don't think so. I doubt it. But regale us anyway. You got the Aurora, Gary. You're very happy with it. Good, good. I'm glad. It's a long way to ship something and not be happy with it, right? Long stem, single-sided Q-tips, and use the wood end for a thread sealant. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I could do that. I've got some of those. I never thought to use that. I think my understanding is this is an actual. It says here, what does it say? Number 64 thread seal. And I got it from Cheryl Tyree ages ago. And she said it came from the Schaefer factory. I don't know if that's true or not, but I have no reason to believe that she would say otherwise. But I mean, I've used that much in, gosh, how many years? 15 years. Your sister-in-law's mother. Your sister-in-law's mother. So your spouse's sister's mother was mayor of Appleton for 12 years, and her dad owned the university bookstore. Huh. How long ago was that? Probably a while ago, huh? $12-inch. Oh, skewers. Yeah, for kebabs. That sealer looks like the same type that the glue they used in school. Bottles had the rubber cap with the slit on top of it. Picture of the Denison desk set you sent me yesterday. They offered a 20% discount on the asking price. Is that the one with the, like, the little books and stuff on there? That was cute. I think I saw that before. Okay. This one was good. Yes. Keep this up, Russell. You're going to have more desk sets than me. All right. You have another Schaefer square-shaped black base arriving tomorrow or Saturday? Boy, I really should not have left this sit. Boy, you can see stuff coming out. You know what I'm going to do? So the ink window is clear. Speaking of desk sets, this isn't actually an Esterbrook product, is it? What is that? No. No, it is not. Kansas Jewelry, though. Yeah, they didn't really do thematic things. Kind of funny looking. I'm going to pull the nib on this. Yeah, there we go. Because I bet there's a lot of schmutz in here. You didn't think so? You have one that you got for free and there are no markings on it? Yeah. Yeah, pretty much every Esterbrook desk set, except for like some really, really super early ones with the raised rings, are marked. Even those were marked. They would have been marked on the felt with chalk, but you know that wears down quite easily. Yeah, let's get some of this out of here and then maybe I need to put Waterman Red in here. You're helping someone out. You need to identify and price 12 vintage Pelicans they want to sell. There are 2 that I'll probably buy as you will get a discount for helping. Oh, that's nice. Let's see. No, I am not drinking. Looking better. These don't have huge ink capacity to them. But they're just a fun. Different variation of. Standard Sailor. But I'm sure this has been sitting for years. In fact, you can see the piston head is stained with orange ink. Finally starting to come a little bit clearer. Then the question is what ink do we put in this? We've got blue in the black one. The horse is in a race today. Good prize money, up in grade, currently 19-1. Wow. What are you going to buy if it wins? Feed, he says. More pens. There we go. Maybe that's the part I'm missing out on. I need to buy a horse. Anybody else want to go on a horse? Well, it's getting better. There's a little bit of. Oh, you're gonna get Waterman Edson money, huh? That's some serious money right there. I could call it Cardinal. Yeah, there we go. I'm being overly excessive about this. You want to be a fly in the wall as you try to convince Lisa that Cardinal Penn needs to own a racehorse? Yeah, that day is. Can you imagine? Thingamabob McJiggy, you're following. Thank you. I love that name. Thingamabob. Olive, you're raiding with a party of 11. This is the raid week here. How's it going, guys? Look at that. From Corolla, how you doing? Adeline. I just got inked. Nice. You can tell me what to put in this pen. All right, that's probably good enough, I think. I don't need to go too nuts. I'll probably just flush it. Impromptu lunch break stream today since you won't be streaming at your usual time tomorrow. Impromptu's fun, huh? Keep everybody on their toes. I could call the horse Lisa's Fury. We'll drop the smoking jacket for a racehorse. Yeah, I think if we did that, there would be a smoking jacket in like minutes. She'd find one. All right. How's everybody doing today? It's been 3 weeks of random schedule between Arkansas show, Atlanta show, and visiting local pen stores tomorrow and on your day off. The life. You're living the dream. I actually still see some ink come out of there. I don't normally care about things being perfectly clean, but yeah, let's see if that tactical work. I think that's probably pretty good. It looked like it was red in there, but I think that was my finger behind it. I do like that color verse. I might put that in there. Probably use up that bottle and then find something else to. I don't think I have any red over here. See what I got. Got some mysterious blue. Although I've got blue in this, so that's probably not a good idea. I do like this Virgo. I think this is a lovely color. How did my sales go with the 25% off on Faber-Castell during March? Thanks for asking. They ink always does well. We've been on a continuing disappointment trip with Faber-Castell pens. I want to like them. They're actually decent pens. They write nicely. They're well made. Nobody ever buys them. And I've done this game for so long now that I think I'm done. I buy them. They don't sell. We say we're not going to do this again. It's just like, buying Pelicans. I think we should carry them. No, I mean, we did the Pelican thing like 3 or 4 times. Probably 4, 5. I was hoping at least we would sell some pens and then say, okay, well, maybe people will buy Faber-Castell pens twice a year when they're 25% off. But it didn't happen. I think I only sold a handful. It was really, really sad. But we sold a ton of ink. I sold so much ink that I had to reorder ink in the middle. Like after a week and a half, I had to order more ink because I was already out of some colors. Yeah, now I can buy Pelican again at an even worse dealer discount. Yeah, I sure could. I got an email yesterday. Some new promotion on ink. Buy like previous inks of the year, Edelstein inks of the year, and get, free ink. I mean, and it was a serious deal too. But the levels, and it was just applied toward ink. So you have to buy this in ink to get free ink. And it was like, your levels were like $3,000, $5,000, or $10,000 buy-ins to get free ink. I'm like, but it's only 3 colors. like who's gonna do that? Who's gonna go, you know what? And it was, and one of them, I was one of them the new pyrite. Like, so everybody's got the new stuff. Why would I want to buy $3,000 more of the old stuff? I don't know. It was very strange. Very strange. Buy 2, get 3 free with no minimums would work. Yeah. Oh, that's fun. A teal in a red pen. Why are they so unpopular? I don't know. They're not, again, they're not bad pens. They're really nice. I quite like the Neo Slims, which were the latest pens that we took on. Didn't they usually use previous ink of the year as part of the Pelican Hub each year? It varies. Like last year it was, people got random, I think there were about 3 random colors. So I don't know. I'd love to carry it. And they did tell me, that they are working on trying to get some equilibrium in the market so that people just don't go to Europe and buy all their Pelicans. That's just ridiculous. I'll believe it when I see it, Yeah, last year, some people got apricot, some people got tanzanite, and then there was a third color that some people got. Because we actually had a little swap thing at our Pelican Hub. We said, if you got a color you didn't like, you want to trade with somebody, then, feel free to do so. So I don't know. Pilot will start selling parts and nibs before Pelican prices normalize worldwide. Yeah. Should I really make them go crazy? And I'll send Bill Piercy an email. Hey, can I just get Vanishing Point nibs? Can I get number 15 nibs? Number 10 FA nibs so I can put them on my Rialos? Can you imagine? It would seriously question my insanity. You have the internal part numbers for nibs and parts if you want to just throw them randomly on an order. Oh, here's my opening order. Take it or leave it. It reminds me of a number of years ago, after I was no longer a Mont Blanc dealer, when I discovered that my rep was no longer working for Mont Blanc, I sent in an order. I verified all the part numbers were still good, and I sent in like a $2,000 order, $3,000 order for ink, just to see what would happen. Verified, first that the order email address was still good. And then I waited. And I didn't tell Lisa. I thought let's just see what happens. Because I kind of got screwed on the deal with Mont Blanc. Freddy yours still tries to order the Twilight Vanishing Point at random times by model number? That must drive him nuts. I wonder if Jacqueline sees those orders. What is this crap? No, I never got the Mont Blanc order. They never emailed me back. They never, I figured they were so incredibly disorganized. It was beyond comprehension how poorly organized Mont Blanc was, Richemont was, that I figured somebody was just nobody would know, and they would just send the order, and then then they deal with collecting the money after the fact. Well, you're not a dealer, but we just sent you 4 boxes of ink, so you owe us $3,000 or whatever. I remember it was like a Saturday or Sunday morning or something, and I was sitting in a coffee shop, and I was like, why not, But it must have taken me 4 years to finally get some internal contact that could actually help me with my orders. It was just terrible. Like, I just want to know if you have something in stock. Can you just tell me that? Instead of going through this song and dance about, well, let's order it and maybe we'll ship it. Like, what are the new colors? You know, Montblanc doesn't care about ink. They care about selling these goofy pens. You know, and every time I see whatever the newest Montblanc Writer's Edition, Special Edition, whatever comes out, I think, you know what? There's no wonder there's so many fakes, because there's so many of these goofy editions that I could make a Montblanc clone. And, you know, some of these pens you just never see unless you're a dealer and you've got the catalog. You know, you could make up some story. Oh, yeah, well, this was the limited edition. You know, because they would have multiple different limited editions for each series. You might have the JFK, but then you've got the JFK Special Limited Edition, and then the special limited edition, and the 4810 limited edition JFK. I mean, you know, I bet if I had ordered 6 digital paper pads from Montblanc, they would have fulfilled the order regardless. To this day, I am still flabbergasted that they actually held their end of the deal when I returned back my digital paper. I'm just flabbergasted that they did it, and they credited us properly, because we were like, there's no way. And they sent us some that were missing, like booklets and stuff, and I thought for sure I was totally going to get screwed on the deal. And they took them back, gave us our money back, credited our account. That stuff was terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Maybe that was the ticket. I should have put one of those on there. Because I didn't order any pens. It was just ink. Oh, man. Can you imagine? Hey, Bob, who's this Anderson? Are they dealers? Wisconsin. We don't have anybody in Wisconsin. What a conversation that must have been. Just forget it. I should have just kept sending it like on a weekly basis, because it did not bounce. It was delivered. I verified it was delivered. I just keep sending POs. Well, I got this pressure bar on. I'm just gonna make my life easy and polish this barrel. I hate this style of pressure bar. Sometimes they're easy to get back on, sometimes not so much. After they get 5 or 6 purchase orders, they would send you everything from all the orders. All yeah, it'd be $10,000, $15,000. You should have seen how they pack though. You swore they worked for Amazon before like people even bought crap from Amazon. I mean, I got packages that were boxes that were so big, you that and there was no packaging material in them, and they'd have the bottles in there and then cartridges, and it was just like they pulled a thing and then out pooped the boxes of ink and the cartridges in your order, and it went in the box, and that was it. And then I mean it was I took pictures for a while. I don't think I have them anymore, but sometimes they'd put the cartridges in like a bag. That was kind of hilarious. But yeah, I like that. I think my first reorder with Pilot, I'm going to put a Twilight on there and see what happens. See if Bill catches it. All right, let's keep our fingers crossed. Hope I get this bar in. It's an interesting bar because it's got a stop point on both ends. There and there. So it is held in place by the lever. What I needed to make a hemostat with the LED light on the end. You hate getting that style bar back in like Pilot 1930s. It's terrible. It is no joke, man. This is not like I didn't want to pull it out, but I could tell it was like rusty as all get out. And this Conklin is a little different style. Get it? I did. Yep. Awesome. All right. Let's get a sack. It's a good thing we didn't rush this yesterday. This might actually be a little bit too small. Let's try that. It's a little bit, it's not too bad. Yeah, I've gotten a lot better in getting that style bar back in lately. Of course, I don't run across Conways very often, so that doesn't help me with the American versions and the confidence required, but the one that still is challenging, probably the most challenging, is getting Schaefer bars out without breaking them. I think you kind of have to get in there from behind and pull it out. They don't often go bad, so you usually don't have to worry about it. T.U. Lee, how you doing? This is what I was looking for earlier. All right. All right. Well, that takes care of that. I don't want to push my luck today. But I still was not able to get the bar in place on this Conklin. And I'm not certain if the It's a little different. There's no actual railing. It's kind of a track. I just don't know if I'm missing something. It can't possibly just sit in there. That just seems weird. Although it would work. Now I finally got it lined up. It's not going to move. Wow, it's such a pretty Conklin, isn't it? I do not need to keep this. I do not need to keep, say it with me. Do not need to keep this. You're not saying it with me. You need to keep it. It is nice enough. But you all know my favorite color. Yeah. You did not say I need to keep it. It would look good in one of the trays, yeah. It is highly saleable, I think is the correct version. All right, so I'm going to put a cap on that. So I'm going to put that over. We'll test that Monday or something. Let's proceed with these three. Yeah, I can't be collecting plastic pens. If they're not Esterbrook's, here's all the options. If it's not an Esterbrook, maybe a Schaefer Balance. You saw a listing for a desk set and they said it was distressed? I bet it was. I bet it was very upset. A threaded section on a lever filler. I don't know whoever thought that was a great idea. There's only three colors, four colors allowed in my pen collection: black, red, red and black. You know, because it's two colors. Gold or silver. Well, I wonder if that'll work. Another threaded section. You Brits are killing me. I don't think there's any saving that, but I can't collect all the Conklins. Only the ones that find their way to me. I'll tell you, this is a solid J bar in this Swan. It is thick. This looks like silicone adhesive. Yep. Who does that? Stuff is hard to get off. I could see maybe if you're using it for a silicone sack, maybe, but latex sack? Well, they didn't do anybody any favors by doing this. Anybody got any plans for the weekend? Start thinking about it. Oh, yeah. Well, that's why they did it. There's actually a crack here. Oh, sure. There's silicone inside. You have to sing for 6 church services between now and Sunday at noon. You're going to be a vegetable. 6, wow. Drink lots of water. Hmm. Well, I wonder if I have a section for this. It's plastic, so maybe it could be fixed, but you have to knock it out. I might have a section for that. I'll have to look. This is my favorite time of year to tell my. This is the time of year to tell my favorite my favorite Easter story. I probably told it before. I don't know. Maybe I haven't. I don't know if y'all want to hear it. It's when was it? 1998, 1999, maybe. I was hired by a church to do a gig for Easter. And it was, what was the piece? I forget what the piece was. It was I think it was some Bach cantata, aria, something. And it was written for what ended up essentially being piccolo trumpet and soprano. And so I didn't have a pick, so I called upon a friend of mine at the time, and he had for you music nerds, he had a Getzen 3-valve pick, an Eterna 3-valve, which was an okay horn, but it wasn't. It was a struggle to keep it in tune. And if you're not familiar with piccolo trumpets, they play an octave above a regular B flat trumpet. And they're hard to play. They're hard to play. They're almost inherently out of tune, except for, I mean, at the time there wasn't many. Like Schilke made the best, and probably still does. The best piccolo trumpet on the market, the P54. I think that there's now a P74 or something like that. But they would, in fact, they make them with 4 valves. Yeah, so much air. Yeah, they make them with 4 valves because you have to use that 4th valve to get what is it? Your lower register. Otherwise, it's wickedly out of tune. You can't even get it. But anyway, so I borrowed this horn from him. It's not great, but it would do the job. And it was just wicked hard, and I wasn't very good. I mean, you know how it is. If musicians, your biggest critic is yourself. But the soprano was exactly how you picture a pretentious soprano to be. Just, the world revolved around her, and we go, and I think we did one practice session, and then I think it was 2 services, and it didn't go well. It didn't go well. It was very hard. I was admittedly out of my league, but I did okay. I mean, maybe it wasn't. There are worse videos online. I will go with that. And like look up the one where the kid's playing. It's got to be like his sister getting married or something, and he's playing for the sister's wedding. It's awful. But at the end of the second ceremony, I mean, it was like I don't think the ceremony was done. They looked at me, they handed me an envelope, say, "You can go now." you can go now. How many sopranos does it take to screw in a light bulb? Only one. She holds the bulb, and the world revolves around her. Yeah. You can go now. I was never so happy to get the hell out of there. I think about it just about every Easter. It was good money though if you kind of got in good with a couple of churches because every Easter they need a trumpet player. If you did it right, you could get off-hour services, services during the week and stuff like that. You're you're a soprano. You're allowed to tell that joke. Okay, very good, very good. I am certain there are wonderful sopranos. This particular one like hit every stereotype. Um, it was just the most uncomfortable thing ever. I should look. I might even still have the uh, the program for that ceremony. But it was some Bach piece, I'm sure. Call and response kind of thing. Can go. That's how classical musicians make money. Yeah, you make about 350 this week. Yeah, yeah. It's very rare to have. My ex-wife is a professional musician, so she just. But she, well, I can't speak for what she does now. I'm sure it's probably the same. But she cobbles together a studio, the symphony. Um, I'm sure Easter and churches and whatnot. She's one of the few that can make it happen. But am I going to be hired to play at my daughter's wedding? I want, I want, I kind of want as little to do as possible that day. I want to show up, take, pictures with my phone, enjoy the day, and nobody wants to hear me play. Oh, I have to start now. I'm trying to. The only thing I have patience to do now is to try to lose weight before the wedding. I can't lose weight and try to relearn how to play the trumpet. So, um, I can't do both. Yeah, show up, be well dressed, and have fun. Yeah. So I think we're getting real close. I think well tomorrow's payday. I think Lisa's doing keto, grocery shopping, and we're gonna start that probably next week. It's just cheaper for me to lose weight and healthier too, of course, than it is for me to buy a new suit and have it tailored. I got a bunch of nice suits and sport coats and yeah, nice fountain pen hobby money if you could do it. And mad respect for those that can pull that off. I just was not. Um, I was very realistic with myself in like my fifth year of college when I decided, what, this music teaching thing is just not for me. Not gonna do it. It's the only time in my life I ever got an F in a class. I willingly took it. So, well, you've got to do observation. No, I don't. I am not doing that. You can just give me the F now, or you can give me the F in 16 weeks when you have to give it to me. But either way, I'm taking the F. That was it. Change my major on the spot. All right, so I need that section. It's 3:15. This could be problematic. I'm trying to remember where I got some of these pens, because some of these pens came from Baltimore and some of them came from another recent acquisition. Let me grab my parts bin for that. I know I have a similar Swan because I can see it in my head, because it's actually a good pen, but it has a crack in the cap. Yours is just a side hustle now? It's just a few extra $100 a month is just fun money. Good. Well, hey, that's a working Conway Stewart pencil. Why don't we get rid of that? Oh, except for that huge crack in the back. Okay, we'll just... There's always a reason, but I just never, you know. This. As organized as I think I am, I'm still not quite organized, so. All right, it's not in that bin. This is the scary miscellaneous bin that has everything else that I don't know where else to put. And a bunch of third-tier junk. Well, some of it's not third-tier, but... I really ought to just sell off some of this junk. Like I'm never going to use it. Probably could get $100 for some of this junk. Well, oops. More miscellaneous junk. This is what you do when you restore pens. You gotta look through all sorts of junk. And remind yourself why you have this crap. Like, this is a really, really nice Eclipse. It just needs a nib and a feed. Just. You gotta run. All right. Yeah, have a good night too. That's not a terrible looking. It's like kind of a, looks like a Venus actually. Oh, but it's missing the end piece. Well, that's a fun material. Diamond point. if this wasn't a complete disaster, right? Oversized. We're missing a lever. I don't even know what's going on here. Crappy nib. Missing the clip. I mean, there's so much wrong, but it's an oversized big red pen. Actually, the barrel and the cap are okay, but check this out. There's a little compass. It's not really... Yes. Let's say... Yeah, I guess that's kind of north that way. I might be right. But even this little piece of covering on here is cracked. It's kind of fun. All right, well. There you go, Gabriel. Wherever Deluxe. Button filler. Gold nib. Doesn't have a frame nib on it, but here's another one. This is great material. How fun is that? Crappy nib. I mean, that's entirely restorable pen. Does anybody want it? That's a whole nother question. Well, I'm not seeing anything in here that's... I know I've got one. I know I have one. And it might even be gray. I'll have to check again later. I think I know where it is. I have trays of better pens that it might be in. Looks pretty chunky, doesn't it? It's not a 16, that's for sure. That should be enough room for a... That'll work. That was good when they match up. We'll figure this. I don't know. This is probably too bent to even get to work. G-bars are cheap. All right, let's see how bad this cap is. This was easier to get most of that out. I dump it in the ultrasonic for 10 seconds. Did it again. All right. Well, kind of feel like I didn't get much done, but I guess we did get a little bit done. Yeah, we got 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we got a bunch of stuff done. Got my pen clean. We're gonna sit at that. I'm gonna look for this cap later. Tomorrow, Monday. So Monday we'll work on that. We'll finish this up. We've got the balance, the Conklin, and the Conway to test. The desk pen to seal up. And then we'll start on something else. So, but for now, I think I'm gonna call it a day. A little bit early. I need to clean up my hands and get ready. We got to head to the other side of town to get our taxes finished up, which is good. And then that's that. So, thanks everyone for tuning in. Don't forget tomorrow, 1:30 p.m. Central Time is a podcast. And so Lisa and I will be, take care, Gary. Lisa and I'll be doing that tomorrow afternoon. Have a good Easter weekend. Play well if you're play and sing well if you're doing music in the church or whatever you're doing. But otherwise, have a great evening, great afternoon, great morning, wherever you are in the world. Be kind, be well, and we'll catch you next time, all right? Take care, everyone. Thanks. Bye now.